So just going back to what you said, so Vatican City was really originally Flavian property.
Well, I mean, it wasn't originally. I mean, it had been Nero's circus, I believe, before the Flavians took it over.
Mhm.
But at one point, it was the Flavian religious, could be seen as best anyone knows. It was certainly controlled by the Flavians, and they had a residence there, which is basically where St. Peter's is, and the circus itself, the square. They left that intact so that the Flavian circus just became, the area in front of the Vatican. And there's a long, there's a lot of construction that takes place. I mean,
Yeah.
during over the 2,000 years, but it just is an actual mechanical fact that this was where the Flavians ran their kind of religious ceremonies from. And when you look at Christianity as a Flavian production, it makes perfect sense, right?
Mhm.
This is why that area had this tradition of administration for the religion, because it had probably in the very beginning held that place. In other words, if you look at the kind of original saints of the Catholic Church, if you go to
Mhm.
the Catholic Encyclopedia, you'll see that the original saints, which anyone has any sort of historical connection or demonstration regarding, these aren't the people in the Gospels. They would be this collection that they're called the Christian Flavi.
Mhm.
Nero Synaculus, Clement, Clemens,
Mhm.
Priscilla. There's a whole collection of them. There's so many that they have a name for it, a term. They call them the Christian Flavi. And
Really?
there's Domitilla, who had the catacombs, which are where the first Christian like iconographic stuff is found.
Mhm.
So there's so many Flavian Christians that the Catholic Church developed this term for them. And if you think about that group of people and where they would have been, kind of organizing their Christian, apparatus, it
Mhm.
would have been in this area, right? They would have been in this general area that had been the Christian sort of headquarters, and so that's why the tradition, I would suspect, it led to eventually the construction of St. Peter's and all of the things that now we now look as
Mhm.
the administrative headquarters of the Catholic Church. But I would think if you look at the location itself and then imagine, because we don't have any text to go from, we just have logic, and imagine how the Christian Flavi would have developed their kind of control over burgeoning Christianity, or their attempt to establish Christianity. It would have been in this general area, and that's why we still look to it to this day as the bureaucratic head of the Catholic Church. And of course, this all would be under the auspice of the Pontiff Maximus, and we know who this individual was at this time. It was the Caesar. So I mean, what's confusing here? It
Mhm.
all makes kind of it's not documented anywhere, but you can just use logic and construct the origin and the physical places that would have been used, and then look at today and see, well, there is the connection.